Now, looking at this, my data that I'm going to be using for visualization, because that's a major topic we are now. What do I call it? Visualization.
Visualization.
What is the essence of visualization? Any data that you see, either in Excel or in any software, for you to properly interpret this data, the best thing to use is what we call what? Visualization. And that's why we're going to start with the most simplest visualization, which is what? Bar chart and pie charts. So possibly in the next class, we'll treat Pareto uh, diagram also. It's also a chart. Are you following, sir? Aha. So let's
Sir, me
so
too,
let's
sir.
start with bar chart and what? And pie chart. Why are we doing this? Because by the time you have a lot of data, imagine you have people that have accounts between your company and they are up to 100 of them. It will be difficult to interpret when you are looking at the data. What I mean by data is, oh, brand, Volvo, Toyota, Benz, under frequency, 1248. It will be difficult when these data are many, but when you convert it to what? To a graph, or when you visualize it, it will be easy because through the bar chart, you will know that it's Toyota that has the what? Highest sales. Are you following? So now,
Yes, sir.
when you are talking about frequency in statistics, I'm talking about, oh, Volvo, they sold 12, Toyota 40, Benz 8. That is the number of the time that they sold Volvo. That's meaning of the frequency. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Now, after this is very clear to you, let me just show you the variable aspect. I didn't do anything that is different from what I've taught you about how to create variables. And this is what? This is the data view. So the next thing we want to do is that we want to convert this data to what? To a bar chart, which is what I mean by visualization. So how do we convert it? So the first thing you are going to do is that you will go to graph. Are you following? When you go to
Yes, sir.
graph, you go to chart builder. Chart builder. Then you click on OK. Then it will take you to this place. Now, getting to this place, this is a chart builder window or dialog. The reason why you are seeing this is because I've actually dragged it before. If I want to change it to any other one, I'll just drag that one to this place. Do you understand? So, but is this is the
Sir.
normal basha. So that's why I will drag this one to the what? To the middle, to the preview window. And you can see that there are other graphs. We have line, we have area, we have pie, we have scatter, we have histogram, we have high low, bus plot, dual axis. There are many like that. Are you following? As a
Yes, sir. I'm with you, sir.
eh, as a statistic person or as a statistician, you must what? You must understand each of these method of visualization for better what? Data interpretation. If you are working for a company, you cannot just bring a raw data. A lot of them, they are layman. They won't understand your data. They will get confused. But by the time you interpret it, from the interpretation, we can get what? Insights that will guide us into what? Into future prediction. Are you getting all these terms? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, after I've done that, I will now decide which one is the x-axis and which one is the what? Is the y-axis. Number
Yeah,
one
yes.
thing you must understand is that anytime you are dealing with categorical data, that's why I took my time to take you through the foundational knowledge that you need
Theory
to
aspect.
understand
Mm-hmm.
statistics. That's when we talk about the data types, the categorical, the numerical, the discrete, and the likes. Now, anytime you are dealing with a categorical data, what should be at the back of your mind is what? Data like pie charts, like bar charts, like histo. Okay, I think yeah, we can see pick histogram with it. Are you following? That is when no,
Yes, sir.
not histogram is not there. You should be thinking about data like what? Sorry, I made a mistake. Bar chart and what? And pie chart. Let me stop at that level.
Okay.
That's when you are dealing with what? Categorical data. Do you know that this is categorical? Do you know?
Yes. Yes,
Why
sir.
is it categorical? Let me ask you.
You mean
The data, the data. Why did I say it's a categorical data?
because it cannot be manipulated.
But the data is what? Brand, Volvo,
Brand,
Toyota,
yes, yes,
Benz.
brand. It cannot be.
You can't manipulate, but the categorical data in this case is what? Is the brand column.
It's a brand.
Are you getting me? So anything that deals with Toyota, Benz, anything that is categorical, the visualization that you can get out of it is what? Either bar chart, pie chart, and Pareto charts. You understand? I think we can also have
Yes, sir.
frequency distribution stuff. Don't worry, I will actually go into it so that you understand what I'm saying. So now, since is a categorical data, I don't need to ask you twice. You should know that the visualization I can get from this is what? Is bar chart or pie chart. So now let's go into that. Now I've done that. The next thing is that most time is the categorical data that will be at the x-axis. So which is car brand, Abby. So I will just drag it. I will press
Yes,
down my left click and I will drag it to the x-axis. Then for the frequency, I will drag it to the what? Y-axis. Are you following? It's the one that will adjust. Yes,
y-axis.
it will adjust itself. Then after I've done that, I will just click on OK. Very wonderful. Before you know, computer will what? We generate it automatically. I'm waiting for it to generate it. Okay, this is it. It will open it in another output. This is the, can you see? Let me expand it. Can you see Toyota? So me looking at it, this is what we call the output. Hmm? This is the output. If I like, that's one thing that makes Excel sorry, SPS to be very easier and professional. I can easily save the what output separately and the what and the input, that is the data, separately. Is that clear, sir? So in case you didn't see on, just come to where
Yes,
the
sir.
SPSS is, you will see it. Is that clear? Now looking at
Yes,
this,
sir.
you can also edit it further. You can do what? You can edit it further. Just double click on this place. When you double click on it, it will bring this one out. Essence of it is that in case you want to, let me just click on the part. When I double click on any of this bar, it will bring this place. This is the category. You understand? So I can go to fill. Fill means that, oh, I want to change the color of this bar. Maybe I want to change it to blue. The size, I can change it. I don't want to waste time on that. How big I want the chart to be, the depth and the angle, maybe how thick. So all these things, just play around it. By the time I'm through, I'll click on what? Okay. Can you see that it has changed the color?
Sir.
Are you following? So that means
Yes, I'm with
with
you.
this, I've been able to what? Create a bar chart. A bar chart from the frequency distribution table. Because when you are talking, someone might ask you, oh, do you know about frequency distribution table? This is what we call frequency distribution table. That is giving me the frequency of each of the what? Categorical values. Volvo 12,
Values.
Toyota 14, Benz 8. So before I round up, how are we now going to get our pie charts? Because you must understand that your pie chart is always round. Do you know that? Your pie chart is always round.
Yes.
And that means that by the time you sum it, it must be total 100. That's what will form that zero like circle symbol or circle diagram. So what we always do is that you must create another column for what we call it frequency. We call it relative frequency. What do I call it? Relative frequency.
Relative frequency.
Okay, let me tell you the meaning of relative frequency. Relative frequency simply means that the frequency of each of these, like this one is 12, Abby. So that means to get another
Yes,
column
sir.
known as relative frequency, what I will do is that I will say I will first add everything. 12 plus 40 plus
It,
8.
it, is it
Eh?
is it the same thing as cumulative
No, it's
frequency?
different. It's different. We'll do that in the next class.
Okay.
Let's just do the relative frequency. Now, for relative frequency, it simply means that 12 plus 40 plus 8, that's the total, making what? 50. So that means to know the relative frequency of Volvo now, it will now be,
Making 60.
is it
60.
60? Are you sure? Oh, yeah,
Yes,
60.
sir.
Thank you. 60. Thank you. Sorry for that's a mistake from my end. So now 60. So for Volvo, will now be what? 12 over what? Over 60 times 100.
60.
Yeah, 12 over 60 times what? 100. That's what will give me the relative frequency in percentage. Is that clear? So, but we can't be, because
Sir.
in case the data are many, it will be difficult for us to be doing it one after the other. So let's use this thing. No, if we're in Excel now, it's very easy. I'll just put the formula, Abby. But in
Yes, sir.
SPSS, there's a way we do it. So you go to transform. We're already teaching you each of these tools already. So I'll go to transform. I'll go to what? Compute variable. What do I call it? Compute variable.
Compute
So
variable.
I'll put relative or frequency. The relative underscore frequency that I put will be the next column after the frequency. So after I've done that, I will now come to the numeric expression. This is where you put your formula. You understand? This is where you put your
Yes, sir.
what? Your formula. So what is the meaning of the formula? That means the frequency of each of it divided by what? By 60. Abi, that's the total. 60. I put it in parentheses. If you can remember what I taught you, order of precedence. Before I will now
Yes.
multiply by what? By 100. Are you following?
I have a
Okay,
question,
oh
sir.
yeah, ask me.
Yeah. The pie chart is a circular
Yes.
representation of data,
Yes, thank you.
and I think is always in angles.
Yes. For us to be able to get it, we need to convert all these things. We need to get the relative frequency before we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we are doing this. Are you getting?
I want to know if I can use like angular formula to get it. I think I'll get the same thing too.
You will get the same thing.
But
Okay.
continue,
So
sir.
now it will now be. So after I've done this, I'll now click on what? Okay. You will see what will happen. Though. Automatically, can you see that it has calculated it?
Yes, sir.
If you use your calculator, it's the same thing. Now, and if you sum this total now, it should be 100. You understand? 20 plus 66 plus 13.
Yes,
So it's
sir.
going to be 100. So now, the next thing is that with this data, I can now get my what? My pie chart. So how am I going to do this? That means I will also still follow the same process. Graph, chart builder. Okay. After I'm getting there, so definitely I will go under what? Pie.
Pie chart.
Yes, then I will move it to the middle so that it will replace that. Then I will now start moving. Now, in this case, I will only need the what is it called? Okay, the car brand, Abby. So I'll move the car brand here. Are you getting me? Then I will move
Sir.
the relative frequency
Frequency.
to this place.
Relative frequency to the y-axis.
Yes, thank you. So after that, I'll click on my OK. Can you see? Wow. So it has given me the what? The answer. So with the color now, I can see that Toyota is the what? Is the biggest. So all I'm saying is that
Again.
you cannot compare visualization to data. Visualization will give you a good idea. Do you understand? For you to be
Sir.
able to interpret the data properly. Don't worry, we are just starting from the simple one. Gradually, we are improving ourselves so that by the time you see data, just quickly use visualization to interpret it so that you can get a better insight for your future prediction. Is that clear, sir?
Yes,
So
sir.
get prepared. I think we are going to stop there. In the next class, we'll continue. Thank you.
All right.